What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Real Spit from a Gangsta Gone Legit. Before we get started, I need you to hit that like and smash that subscribe button. Yo, today we got my man Donald. What's up, D?
How you doing, my brother?
Man, I'm all good, man. How you?
Can't complain.
That's
man.
what's up, man. I'm glad that you came and blessed us with your presence on this platform, bro.
Appreciate you for having me today.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Gangsta Gone Legit. 100% support you, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. You've definitely been doing that. So listen, I want you to let the people know basically who's Donald and where you from.
So I grew up in the South End, born and raised in the South End. I hung everywhere. I could go wherever I wanted to go. Today, 2021, 52, God will, I'll be 53 in a couple of months, married. I got like 7 children, 5 sons, 2 daughters, man. I work for the Public Health Commission right now, overseeing the trauma response throughout the city of Boston. Also was ordained as a pastor back in 2012, October 2012. Something that I never saw happening, so that's even funny when I say it out my mouth. But, man, God's grace, I'm here today, man. I've been shot. I've been stabbed a couple of different times, man. And, it's all about God's grace that I'm present, even if we sitting here with you right now, brother.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that when your story unfolds later on in this interview. But right now, I just wanted to ask you. So you said you were from the South End section of Boston, right?
Yes.
All right. So when you were there, when you came up in the South End, did you have any affiliation with any known gangs or anything like that?
So I knew all the gangs, right? But I was really like I called myself an independent, so I didn't subscribe to one crew. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hung around Academy Homes a whole lot. That's where my family was at.
Okay. My
family was throughout Boston, but if we was gonna say family, that was family. But for the most part, I was an independent.
Okay, independent. Okay. So you was cool with everybody.
Yeah.
So you didn't really have no smoke, no gang smoke.
Nah, I had dudes that didn't like me, of course.
So you had your own personal beefs.
Yeah, that's just how that was. And if some of my peoples had issues here and there, I would get involved if I needed to. But I wasn't really, I didn't get involved in female stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because dudes fighting over women. I didn't get into that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get into the, dude looked at me funny stuff,
Mm-hmm.
If it was something like that, then y'all gotta have that fair one, things like that, man. And, I try to keep it moral based.
Okay.
I didn't get into the, if it was women and kids and all, the things that don't happen today, man. I was totally opposite of how today is.
No, I get that. So, when you were in the streets, what did you, what was your hustle?
So my thing in the streets, man, I was selling drugs.
Selling drugs?
Yeah, I was selling crack. I moved from crack to pushing weight. I did that for a long time. That was actually like my real job. How I started out hustling. I was going to college. I went to Bay State Junior College, and books were expensive, so I decided, I'm gonna sell a little weed, pay for these books. From weed, I started selling crack, from crack to the weight, and then, foolish me right in the middle of that, I was like, well, shoot, man, I don't even need to finish college. Let me just go ahead and make this money. And I started making money.
So what? You started out by just paying for books, but then when that money stopped coming in, and you see how good it was, you was like, fuck college, I'm good.
Yeah, that was a foolish move, but it was the move I made at the time because it just made sense to me with my little bit of wisdom that I had at the time.
And what year are we talking about?
So I hustled from, let's say, about 80, 88, 89 to really right up until I got locked up, man. So it was that to 1996. I went to prison in 1996. So I hustled all the way to then.
Okay, so you had a long run.
Yeah.
A lot of money made.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of money made, a lot of money lost.
Right. Fast life, right?
Yeah.
Come and go.
Come and go.
Come, easy go. I got you. So let's talk about that, being a drug dealer for a little while. So I want you to take me for, okay, so definitely back then, I know you looked at it different than you do today.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So let's say when you were selling drugs, what was your reason? What was your main purpose? Was it for the cars, the jewelry, the women? What was you in the game for?
To be honest, I just did it. Once I started doing it, I got good at it. You know, and I never had major issues with the police, so that's kind of what kept me doing what I was doing, you know, because I didn't have a whole lot of problems. You know, just a lot of people getting arrested. I moved different, you know, I wasn't real flashy. You know, like I said, it was like a job for me.
Right. So you had a little bit of self-discipline with the way you move.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I asked the question, how was it then? Now, how do you view selling drugs today?
Oh man, today it's foolish.
It's foolish.
You know, and the reason it is foolish, you know, it's like when I kick myself every day because I think about all the money I wasted, right? I could have bought blocks, you know, but I was, you know, you get arrested for something different, right? Because I never got arrested for the drugs until I picked up the case I had. You know, you get arrested, you gotta pay for lawyers. You know, you lose product, somebody steal a stash, you lose money, you know. So today, I would encourage everybody, you know, a paycheck is good.
Right.
You know, if you're an entrepreneur, that's dope. If you got a paycheck, that's dope.
Right.
Because you don't have to worry about the police coming, taking yours, right? You don't have to worry about the stick-up boys who want to come take yours, you know what I'm saying?
There's no looking over your shoulder at
Yeah.
that point. Real talk. I like that, respect that. So let us know what led you to prison.
So real talk, man, and probably a lot of people don't even know this true story, man, but you know, what led me to prison, man, was my foolishness. You know, I was, like I said, I was hustling. It was a low point in my life, man, where what I was really looking for, it's gonna kind of shift the conversation too, you know. What I was really looking for at the time was love. You know, I was looking for love. And you know, I was dating this young lady, you know, and at the time, it was like one of the worst days of my life, man. You know, I was, my game plan this day, the day before I was planning on taking my own life. And, you know, that was the game plan. You know, I was gonna go out, get nice, come home, kill myself, man. That was what I thought I was gonna do. And, you know, I went Thanksgiving Day, woke up, going to do what I was gonna do. Thanksgiving Day, it didn't work out like that. I had some, you know, one of my family members that got killed like that same, like maybe like a couple of weeks before that. And so my family was kind of up in arms or whatever. You know, young lady I was seeing, you know, we was off and on. I just had a daughter. Prior to that, I had another young lady. You know, she's not my biological daughter, but me and her mom started so at the time. And so the young lady I was seeing, you know, she thought I was going to go be back with my son and daughter's mom. And push came to shove, man. So some stuff happened leading up. It's like this movie. You know, when you say to yourself, can't nothing else happen worse in a day? Everything that can happen worse in my day happened in my day. And I went to my female's house at the time, man, and I heard this voice telling me she had a dude in the crib. So I bust open the door, and there was really a dude in the crib. So at that moment, I was heated. You know, I was on like 8,000. But right in that moment, my plan was to marry this young lady too. And so it was crazy because I loved her. If I knew what love was, right? Because I was looking for love. But I heard this voice say, you know, you want to marry her, she's not the one. And right at that moment, everything shifted. I was like, from 8,000 down to Mello. And I told the brother, like, yo, man, this is, she chose you. She cheated on me, she gonna cheat on you, man. I don't need to probably good. But because I was around her a lot, she knew me, a little better than most. And she thought I was, playing her like I'm gonna do something to her anyway. And I was like, nah. But one thing led to another. She ran out the house. Some dudes that I was cool with, I grew up with, thought that was their opportunity to, be her hero, right? And they didn't know that I knew that every time they had tickets to events and stuff like that, they would give her these tickets, trying to, win her over, whatever, but she always gave me the tickets. You know what I'm saying? And so that day, they decided that they wanted to be the hero. They called the police on me, all this other stuff, man. The police tried to kill me that night, man. It was a crazy night, but I ended up doing some time for that, man. 4 judges wouldn't take the case because, when you hear the case, man, and I'm trying to stay diplomatic in the conversation because, on my end, I apologize to her, apologize to the young man. They lied on me, you know what I'm saying? But it's neither here nor there. Like I told the young man, we had a conversation. He's actually a police officer now, right? We had a conversation. I told him I apologize because y'all got caught up in me running from God. Because that's what it was, right? God had been calling me. People always say that, but really he was calling me, man, and I was running because I didn't like the life I was living, but I didn't know how to get out of it. But I also knew God was calling me, and I was like, man, I don't really want to do that because there were some other things that I liked in the lifestyle, right, that I knew once I said yes to him, I wasn't going to be able to just do. And so it was the running piece, man. So when I talked to the brother, like, listen, man, I'm sorry that, you and the young lady was caught up in my mess. And when I was in prison, I reached out to her. She wasn't ready for the apology yet, but I did reach out to her years later because when I decided to run for mayor, I knew that people would start kicking over rocks.
Let me take you back. You're moving too far right now. We're still trying to figure out what led you to prison. You didn't get to that point.
So I went to prison. I took a deal. I went to prison.
I mean, what was you charged with?
The charge that I took was assault, battery, dangerous weapon. I had some crack cocaine on me when I was arrested, and I had a firearm. So I took that.
So when you went to the house, you had a gun on you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I always had a gun on me, 24/7.
Right.
That was how I lived, 24/7. So.
And that's why you're saying, when you said to the brother that God was talking to him and saved him, because you, at one point when you went there, you were on 800, and you were going there.
When I went there, I wasn't going there for that. When I went there, I rung the bell. You know what I'm saying? I got in the door, whatever, knocked on the door, but she didn't answer. So that was what that was about. I didn't have no intentions on doing nothing to her or him. At that time, like I said, I was looking for love. What I needed that day was a hug.
Right.
But everywhere I was at, there was no hugs.
Wow. So it was just one of them days, man, that everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Yeah. So it was that type of thing. Like, you know how you have people, man, that if they say the right thing, they can bring you down, like mellow you out. She was that for me. You know what I'm saying? But then, because I was all over the place with women too, man. She was doing what she did, and I couldn't be mad because of what I was into anyway. You know what I'm saying? I was everywhere, so I couldn't be mad at her. So it wasn't like I'm going here to kill nobody or nothing like that. It just happened to fall in line like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But yet you still got charged.
Yeah, because the brother, he wanted to fight after the fact, right? I guess after he called police too, right? And
hold up, so he calls the police on you, and then when they get there, he starts putting his chest up like
No, he was trying to keep me there till they came or whatever. So he tried to throw the ones, man. I'm like, bro, like I just gave you the pass. So he pushed me a couple of times, man. I'm pretty good with the hands, so I tuned them up real quick. But now I'm mad. Like, dude, you like press the envelope, you know what I'm saying? So when the police pulled up on it, man, you know, they're like, what's going on? And I just told them, like, yo, this dude's with my chick. He hit me, I hit him. They said, well, get on out of here. You know, they told me to leave. So I was leaving. And as I was leaving, he said, well, you got a gun.
Wow.
When he said that changed the whole night, man, because, you know, we in the South End.
Right.
And, you know, they tried to grab me up. You know, they was chasing me, and the cop, his knee came out of socket, man. And, you know, the whole time, man, they're like, yo, kill this nigga. This is what they're saying while they trying to catch me, you know. And every time I try to cross the street, they try to hit me with the car, man. So it's a crazy story, but, you know, it's an important part of the story, right? So, you know, they tuning me up. And I told them, like, listen, y'all gonna stop hitting me because I gotta fight back. And they're like, you know, like, nigga, we gonna keep it 100, right? And so we all heard these hums. On Columbus Ave, man, we hear these hums. And we all look up. It's like 3 cops and me. And there's 2 white people standing there, man. They're like 6'1". A man and a woman. I'm thinking they husband and wife, but they got on silk pajamas, bro. And all they said to the officers was this: either gonna arrest them or you're gonna let them go. But if you put your hands on them again, y'all got problems.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's what they said. And so when they said that, you know, the officers got up, stood me up, put the cuffs on me, but they turned the cuffs around and they put them on me. So by the time I got to the station, my hands were like dope fiend hands, right?
Right.
But they had me in this car for about 45 minutes while they was looking for this gun, right? They finds a gun. They say that's my gun. Subsequently, my fingerprints were never on this particular weapon that they found, right? So I didn't know, you know. But when I got to the station, they was like stripped butt naked. And I was like, of course I'm not stripping butt naked. And they was like, well, we gonna kill you tonight anyway, man, so you better cooperate, right? So I'm like, yeah, all right,
Some
whatever.
ball crackers, huh?
Yeah, man, it's crazy, bro. So I started taking my clothes off, and I forgot I had the drugs on me. And I had made these shirts. So this is how, you know, I made these shirts that had like this hidden pocket. So as I'm taking off my stuff, I said, oh shoot. And I took my clothes and I shook them myself so that the stuff wouldn't fall out, right? And I threw everything on the floor, and then the other officer came. He was like, nah, he just grabbed my clothes and started going crazy with them. And the stuff fell out, man. And I was like, yo, you planting stuff on me? You know, and they're like, oh, we got him. We got him. You know, they slapping 5. It was like a movie, bro. And so I didn't go to sleep that night because, you know, I remember they was like, they gonna do something to me, right? So I stayed up all night. Until the morning, they took me to court. Went to court. I had been on the run too, man. So, you know, I was on the run for like 2 years. So finally, man, you know,
Caught up with you.
yeah, caught up with me, whatever. And, you know, I went like maybe like 10 months before, well, actually like a year. Like, 'cause it was Thanksgiving. I went to prison the following year in December. So a year I was going to court, but I had 4 judges that wouldn't do the case. Because if you read the police report tells the truth. Right? Everybody told the truth. But grand jury minutes, the story was different. It was the same story. You know, if you're looking at the story, you know the story was the DA painted the picture. The DA didn't want to let me off because the DA's perspective was like, this dude has beat too many cases. He got to be intimidating witnesses or something. You know, it's speculation. So long and short, the last judge was going to let me go home. And this day, this is what changed my life, bro. So, I'm at court. This is the 4th judge. This is actually the 5th judge. The 5th judge. Because even a black lady judge wouldn't do the case. The 5th judge, he's like, you know, I get to court December 8th, never forget it. I get to court. I walk in. The 2 victims get off the elevator. Officers get off the elevator. They got the vanilla envelope with the drugs in it. You know, they got the envelope with drugs, gun. So when they get off the elevator, man, I'm standing like, oh, sweat, man. I just felt like I'm going to jail. I just felt it, right? So I went in the bathroom, man. This would change my life, baby. I go in the bathroom, I'm bawling, because I'm like, damn. Because the whole time I'm looking at 24 to life. You know, because they had charged me with armed assault and dwelling. Assault, battery, dangerous weapon, that's automatic life. Plus the drugs and the gun, right? So I'm looking at 24 to life. That was what the offer was, because I wouldn't take a deal early on, right? So I went in the bathroom, man. I started crying. And I said, you know what, God? You give me one more chance. No matter what happens for the rest of my life, I will never stop serving you. And while I'm in the bathroom, this white dude walks in the bathroom. I ain't never seen this dude a day in my life. But he walks in the bathroom and he says, what's the matter? I said, they trying to fry me, man. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah. He said, what's your name? I never told nobody my name. But this day I told him, Donald Osgood. And he said, yeah. So he walks in the store. He don't even use the bathroom. He walks in the store, he comes out, and he starts washing his hands. And he looks back at me. He said, I know who you are.
You need to hear this. Speak up a little more.
He said, I know who you are. He said, you're Donald Osgood. He said, I know your lawyer. He said, I know the judge. I know the district attorney. He said, you're going to jail today. He said, but you ain't going to jail for that time. He said, you're going to do like 3.5 years. He said, while you're in prison, you're going to be fine. He said, when you get out, you don't have to never worry about going back. He said, I'm going to go. He said, how that sound to you? You know, man, I'm looking at 24 to life. Man, he talking about 3.5 years. I said, man, that sounds good. He said, all right, cool, I'll be back. He said, I'm going to go see the judge right now. And he walks out the bathroom. So, you know, I wash my face, man. Wash my face up. I come out. My mom and pops is at the court with me, right? So I go like, I tell them the same story I tell you. My mother goes, did nobody come out the bathroom, Donald? And I'm like, yo, Mom, you tripping, man. Somebody just came out the bathroom. And she's like, ain't nobody come out the bathroom now. Me and my mom's relationship is like this. Like, if it's cloudy and I say it's cloudy, my mom's gonna say it's partly sunny. That's just the relationship we got right now. My dad said, nah, son, ain't nobody come out the bathroom.
And they was sitting right outside the bathroom.
So I'm like, y'all tripping. So now while I'm saying that, my lawyer comes out the judge's chambers and he says, listen, man, he said, Donnie, because that's what he called him, Italian dude, Jack Moscadelli. Y'all probably know who he is if you've been in the streets long.
Right.
But he's like, listen, Donnie, I've been doing this for years. He said, and this has never happened. He said, the judge is trying to let you walk out of here. Like, dismiss the case and all of that. He said, but the DA's like, nah, because you beat too many cases. So she feel like you've been intimidating people and all this stuff. So they came up with a 3 to 5. I said, what is that? He said, that's no less than 3, but no more than 5. He said, I'm going to go back and see them. You know, you got time to think about it, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. My mother's like, oh, yeah, go get it out the way. My dad's like, whatever you want to do, son, I got you, right? So I had some money saved up. So I'm thinking, man, I just need to bounce. So now we sitting there having this whole discussion, me, my mom, my dad, right? Superior Court. No, I know you know about Superior Court. So Superior Court, you know when the elevator's open, right? Every time that door opened going down, the elevator was always crowded. The elevator door opens up, going down, with nobody on it. I'm looking at this door, and I'm thinking, that's a bounce. The door closes. My mother says, just get it out the way. I'm like, Mom, what you mean get it out the way? I said, you're going to go home and get in your bed.
Right.
I'm going to be locked up, you know, for 3 to 5, whatever that is, right? And my dad's still like, whatever you decide, son, I'm with you, right? So the door opens again. A different elevator door opens up, going down, nobody on the elevator. I'm still debating. Door opens a third time, the first door that opens the third time, going down, nobody on the elevator, and I'm sitting there, and like this is like the crucial moment. And I said, you know what, Buck, I'm gonna just go knock this out. So I go call my kid's mom. I said, listen, I'm about to go do this time so I can get my life right. You know, I say, take the block off. I'll hit you when I get a chance to, right? And she's crying on the phone, man, and I'm like, boom. So I go into the courtroom, man, and the judge is like, you sure you want to do this? So the victims, you know, they do victim impact statements, right? And they start talking about how they was afraid of me, all this other stuff, right? And the judge said, stop talking. Don't talk to him. And he didn't say stop talking, he said shut up.
He told the victim to shut up?
Yeah, he said don't even look at him. Talk to me. He said, because you have no idea. Because the case was, what I went to prison on, bro, wasn't what it was, because, again, the police report said one thing, and then when you hear the grand jury minutes, they say something different. Right. So it tells the story that they lied, right?
Right.
And but it was a part of God's plan anyway, right? So he said, y'all don't even understand what's about to happen to this young man's life. His life's never gonna be the same.
This is what the judge says?
Yeah, he said he's gonna see things that men ain't supposed to see. He's gonna experience things that men ain't supposed to experience. He's like, so y'all have no idea, so don't talk to him, talk to me. Right? And he said, Mr. Osgood, I apologize to you. He said, he said, my hands are tied. He said, but I hope that when you finish with your time, that your life is better. And all I could say was thank you, right? He let me give my moms and my pops a hug. And my mom said this to me, right? I had a temper, man. I gotta keep it 1,000. I had a bad temper, you know. She said, before you do anything, she said, call me to pray. And I looked at my mother and I started laughing. I got the cuffs on. I'm laughing at Mom. I said, if right before I have to have a fight, and I say to a dude, yo, man, hold on, let me call my mom to pray first. I said, if I can do that, I said, you got my word, I'm gonna call you to pray. Right? And believe it or not, every single time there was an opportunity for me to call my moms and pray with them, man. And when if we had more time, man, I would give you the testimonies of my prison sentence, man, because God was in the middle of it all. Like, in the middle of it all, you know, different situations, different folks, man, I had smoke with,
so
all that.
So you're saying that your first court case, now you were doing stuff up before that, definitely, right? And you were terror the streets, you know, you were involved with a bunch of different things, you had drama and all that, like, you know, the average street dude, right? But you're saying that, because I want to make clarity, I know some people caught it, but I know there's a lot that didn't. I definitely caught it, because you actually told me this story, so
Yeah.
I know what it is. So I want to expound on that, though. So what you're saying is, the guy in the stall,
Yeah.
there was no guy in that stall, but there was someone who told you he was going to be all right, and exactly what he said was going to happen ended up happening. So you're telling us, this is your words, right?
Yeah.
Your story.
Yeah.
You're saying that this was the work of God,
All day.
and that day in court changed your life from then on.
Yeah. And I'll explain to you, right? So you know, there's always back.
Hold up, wait.
Go
And
ahead.
just so we clear,
Yeah.
your mother and your father was sitting outside the bathroom door. So
Yeah.
they would see someone coming in
They
or
would
coming
see
out.
somebody, yes, they would.
And that whole conversation you had in that bathroom,
Yeah.
they thought you were bugging.
They thought I was bugging.
I know you wasn't bugging, brother. I know you wasn't bugging. I heard things like that before.
Hebrews chapter 13
I heard
says,
things like that.
be careful to entertain strangers, because you never know if you're entertaining an angel unaware. Hebrews chapter 13 verse 1, right? So now I didn't know all of that stuff back then, because I wasn't serving God back then, right? But I'll tell you this, I'll give you a piece of me being locked up. So I'm in Concord prison, right? I'm in West Down, because they had West Up, West Down. Yeah, I was in West. Let me see, what's up? Yeah, I was in West Down, room 202. Two things happened in this.
Wait, before you tell me that, hold your thought right there. Because I want them to know what you transformed from. So, you were that brother that you had shootings under your belt, right? Your stabbings, you were in the street. You were in the street for real, right?
So I've been shot personally. I've been shot at multiple times. I've been stabbed personally. You know what I'm saying? I didn't stab folks. I didn't shot folks. You know, most of the folks.
So I want them to see the impact.
We've made amends too. A lot of these brothers, we made amends. Some passed away. Some of them, we made amends. You know, before they passed away. There's some still living, but like we're mad cool now. You know what I'm saying? And when they see this, they'll click on it and say it themselves. Like we're mad cool now. So yeah, when God steps into your life, man, you don't have an option. You know, there's no options. You know. So I'm in West Down. Two major things happened for me there, right? The first one, I was in this room 202, right? And my routine was, you know, in the morning I would pray.
Okay.
You know, so, but this particular day.
Wait, you would pray. Remember, you said when you first got in and your mother told you about praying, you laughed. So who in prison, who helped you get to that point? So
take us there. We're talking like 3 months now. I've been in prison. So you know, my mom sent me a Bible, so I read the Bible. Right. Actually, before
so
she
you got a Derby from your mother.
Yeah. Well, so before I went to prison, I accepted Jesus as my Savior.
Okay.
At a funeral.
Okay.
Well, I had the Glock 40 millimeter on my waist and a bulletproof vest on. At a funeral inside of a church, I heard God speak to me then. So I said yes, but I still was in the streets. I didn't go back to nobody's church, none of that. I was in the street. But it was something that changed different for me, right? The moment I said yes, my life had already started transforming, you know. And like I said, man, this is the interview will be very long if I give you all the little
brother,
pieces.
This is your story, brother.
Okay. So
you ever heard of editing and slicing? We can edit this thing up.
I got you. So 202. I'm in there looking out the window. So when I was a kid, I had this dream. You ever have one of them dreams and it's so real, you looking for the thing you saw in this dream?
Yeah, absolutely. I can relate.
I had this dream about these projects. Now, I've been a few places. I've been a few cities, right? So I go to the projects, man. I'm looking for this project. So I'm in Virginia. I see the projects. Every city I went to their projects because I felt like I needed to see this project that I seen in my dream. So now I'm talking, I'm 9 or 10 when I had this dream. So now I go to prison, I'm 28 years old, right? So I'm standing, looking out the window, man, west up, west down. And then, so it was another building, boom. So I'm looking at this other, so it's like a courtyard. It looked like old school Orchard Park back in the day. And I'm looking out the window, man, and the Spirit of God spoke to me and said, "You remember this? I showed you this in a dream when you was a kid. You're right where you're supposed to be right now." And I started crying because I remembered. And what he was saying to me was what it was. And like my whole life transformed in jail, man. And March 7th, Biggie Smalls died. 1997. March 7th, before we knew Biggie Smalls died, at like 3, 4 in the morning, they was taking dudes out of Concord prison, taking them to Texas. The riot team. So I'm asleep. This was the one night, because I didn't sleep in jail, but this was the one night that I actually was in a deep sleep. I was in such a deep sleep, I was at home. So I heard this like this. But it was like boom, 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 right? And it woke me up. And I always slept with my head to the door. So if I heard the door open, you know, I swing around, I'm ready. You know, because this jail is what it is, man. You never know what's going to happen. And so I swung around and I sat up and the lights was on. So I'm thinking, man, like, yo, I must have overslept or whatever, right? You know, they don't let you oversleep because they got their routine stand-up count, right? So I look up, look out the door, man, and I see the COs, man, with the shields, the riot gear, the masks on, with the batons and all that, right, walking. And I'm like, oh, shoot. So my roommate, I go wake him up. I'm like, yo, but when I go to wake him up, I look out the window, man, I see like hundreds of dudes in the courtyard. Some dudes got clothes on, some dudes is in their boxes, man. It's like 10 degrees out in Concord, right? And they're walking dudes through the snow. Boom, they're going. So my roommate wakes up, he's like, oh, shoot. You know, he don't say, oh, shoot. And I'm like, shh. Because I hear them calling dudes' names, right? And then what they would say is, room such and such, blase, whatever the person's name was, room such and such, boom, they open the door and they would say to the other one, you, facing the pillow, you have 2 minutes to get dressed or you're going like you are, right? And some dudes was like, no, bump that, don't, you know, all that rah stuff. And so one dude was laughing across the hall from me, right? We from Lenox Street, Spanish brother, man, never forget this brother. He was laughing. They switched up the dude they was taking and took him because he was laughing, right? And so then they started calling my room. They're like, Osgood, room 202. I don't know where they going yet. And I ain't going. So I gets down, man. I start praying, man. My roommate, he's like, pray for, I said, bro, I'm praying for both of us. Because I don't know where they taking dudes, man, and I ain't going. So I'm like, God, listen, I don't know where they taking these dudes, man. I ain't going. Dudes in the other side of the jail, they start calling because they see them in my unit first, right? So they're like, yo, Donald, where's Donald? My roommate's yelling back, like, yo, he's praying. He's praying. Like, this is like funny, right? And so they're like, tell him to pray for me. You know, Rack, you're going to see this Rack, because Rack was calling for me to make sure I was good, whatever, right? While on the other side of jail. So anyway, boom. They finish taking who they taking, they leave. I was working in the kitchen. So at 6 something, when I was supposed to go to work, you know, it opens up the door. So now, man, I got on every piece of my clothes I could muster. Right? I got it all on, like mad clothes on, right? Right. So boom, I'm ready. I ain't even come out the room yet. Doors open. I ain't coming out the room. They're like, Osgood, you going to work? I said, nah, man. I ain't coming out the room. Y'all can come in here and get me, man. So they're like, nah, you going to work. So I said, all right. So I go to work. You know, they act like nothing ever happened in the jail, right? The jail's mad empty because they done took like 800 cats. You know, it's like it's 1,600 people in the jail. 1,600 people would only hold 800 anyway. But they got all these dudes, man, they took. So, boom, we come back from work. It's a Sunday. They cancel all visits, shut the phones down so you can't make no calls or nothing, right? Slide these papers under the door, asking who wants to volunteer to go to Texas, right? So now, boom, it's like 2 o'clock, whatever that count time is right there. So they doing this count. So the girl, young white girl, she's standing at my door looking at me like this, right? So I'm looking at her. She's like, you ain't supposed to be in there. I said, then come get me. Because, you know, I got all the clothes on. I'm ready to knock somebody out, man. I figure like this, if they take me, somebody getting hurt. Because I'm going to get hurt. Somebody getting hurt, right? Whoever's on the bottom, that's it. So she's like, I need your ID. I said, nah, you can't get my ID. She said, I need you. I said, you ain't get my ID. So she leaves and send a sergeant back. So the sergeant's like, Osgood. I said, listen, man, you can open the shelf door, and when you come in here, man, however many of y'all come in here, man, just know, one of y'all, I'm tearing up. I'm with it. And he's like, listen, Osgood. I said, listen, we really need your ID because we need to make you a new card for the board. He said, they did call your name. He said, I don't know why they ever called your name, but you were all set. We don't even know why they was trying to take you to Texas, but we just need to put your name back on the board, man. Yeah, they really did call you. And yeah, you really was gonna be gone. But for whatever reason it shifted and you here, don't worry about it. Everybody that's gone is gone now. He said, so I really need your ID, man. He said, you got my word. I said, all right, man. So I slid my card under the door, the jail ID, slid it under the door. They made a card, man. I apologized to the young lady because she don't know she wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? And so, boom. So now, fast forward and we done out of jail, man. June 18th, 2000. Day before I get out of prison, June 19th. That's a whole nother significance because Juneteenth, right? But June 18th, I'm listening to 590, the gospel music, right? Me and my roommate, right? And this song comes on called by Kurt Franklin. It's Over Now, right? The storm is over now. And when this song comes on, Steve, I hear the voice of God say, it's over. You're done. You don't have to ever come back. It's over. And when I heard that, man, I started crying. Because the angel God sent to speak to me, God was letting me know that you're finished. It's done. And that day, man, my roommate was crying with me, man. The presence of God so heavy in my room, man. And when I walked out of jail, I ain't never been back. And although somebody tried to jam me up, two different people tried to jam me up to get me to go back, I ain't never been back outside of this. I've been back to Boston State pre-release where I was at to speak to the brothers. I've been to Shirley Medium where I was at to speak to the brothers. I've been to Nassau Street to speak to brothers. I've been to Concord Farm to speak to brothers. I've been to Norfolk to speak to brothers. You know what I'm saying? So all of that to say, man, like everything, man, like when God get a hold of you, brother, this is why I live for him, man. And I ain't perfect. I gotta always say that because people think you gotta be perfect to rock with God, man. Nah, he's just looking for that genuineness in your heart. If you falling short, man, it's cool because you already knew that anyway, right? But when he get in your life, man, like I was looking for love. But it's like these chairs we sitting in, it's one of these in my heart. It's one of these in your heart. It's one of these in everybody who's watching, who's gonna see this. It's a chair in their heart, man, that only God can fit. There's a seat made just for Jesus in your heart, man. And we put everything else in it. I put drugs in it. I put guns in it. I put women in it. I put power in it. I put status in it. You know what I'm saying? I put homicidal thoughts in it, suicidal thoughts. I put all these different things in that seat, man. And the only one who could fill it was God through Jesus for me, man. And when I let him in that seat, my life changed. My whole life changed, man. You know what I'm saying?
It was for you. It only took that one time of going to prison, and that was it. It was a one and done.
It was a one and done, man.
Let's go.
It was a one and done. You know, and don't get me wrong. I've been arrested many times. Some stuff I did, some stuff I didn't do. You know, but it was that one time. But for me, it was the training ground. It was where I was distracted. So I wasn't only running from God, man. I had a gazillion distractions, you know what I'm saying? Women, streets. You know, when you in the street, man, you can't just walk away from the street.
Right.
Because everybody ain't forgiving.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So you need God to walk away from the street, man. Like everybody think, whatever, man. Like I went and seen brothers when I came home, like, yo, listen, I'm on a new path. They didn't have to get a pass. But I wasn't worried either way, you know what I'm saying? Because if God got me, then God got me. And, I wasn't testing him, but what I was saying was like, listen, I'm going to do whatever you ask me to do, even when I don't feel like it. There's days I don't want to do God's business, man. I want to do Donald's business. But at the end of the day, I have to finish whatever he asked me to finish, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is about for me. That's why I wear you know what I'm saying, Gangsta Gone Legit stuff, man. It's why, you know, it's a lifestyle for me, you know what I'm saying, because I was a gangster, you know, and I can't speak for everybody else, but I was about that. Whatever I've been in, and I was 150% in it. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all see, he left me with no questions. That was my next question. He's already answering it. You feel me? That's what's up.
It's what it is, man. Like you know, people, Gangsta Gone Legit, because they don't really understand. Like everybody that say they was a gangster wasn't a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like if you knew a dude was a gangster, he wasn't no gangster. It's the dudes that you didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got arrested with guns, man, and dudes didn't know I carried guns. If you knew I carried a gun, then that was a bad thing, because that meant it was getting let off. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, I wasn't the dude that be brandishing and none of that. That wasn't my flow. You know, so I just that's how I moved, man. So it wasn't like, so when I wear your stuff, man, it's because I was really like that, but also I know God really saved me. He really turned my life around. So that's what that is for me, man.
That's what it's about.
So it's something, God.
And you're wearing the newest one. And for everyone that's going to see this, he got the new one on right now.
Yeah.
Not just a brand, it's a lifestyle.
Not just a brand, it's a lifestyle. Gangsta Gone Legit. That's what it is.
So listen, on that note, what do you tell, knowing what you know today, right? What do you tell a younger Donald?
Man, that's dope, because I was thinking about that today. With the work I do, man, and these young men and young ladies, man, they don't have hope. So when you don't have hope, you do whatever, right? When you don't love yourself, you do whatever. And we all say we love ourselves, right? But when I was living the before life, before Christ, before Jesus life, man, I didn't love me. How I know I didn't love me, man? Because I had myself in harm's way every single day. Every single day I woke up with the mindset, if I make it home, that's dope.
Right.
And if I don't make it home, that's dope. If you get the drop on me, that's dope. And if you don't get the drop on me and I get the drop on you, that's dope. That was how I lived my life every single day. So when I thought about it, man, and this is another jail moment, man. I'm in jail, and I don't even remember what I was reading at the time, but Jesus was doing some ministry work. And when I was reading it, God's like asked me a question, and while I was reading the word, he said, "You love your kids?" I was like, hell yeah, I love my kids, This is me and God dialoguing, man. I'm like, hell yeah, I love my kids. He said, no, you don't. I said, what? He said, you don't love your kids because you don't love yourself yet. And when he said it, man, I paused, because I didn't love myself, P. Even while I was trying to walk with God, I still didn't love me yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it was only a part of you doing it right, and you wasn't wholeheartedly, right?
No, I was it. But there's still levels, man, of transformation that takes place in our lives, man. But I didn't know love yet. You know what I'm saying? Like God loved us from the beginning. When He created us to have a relationship. You know what I'm saying? But it was like I didn't care about me. And God was like, you didn't care about you. You didn't care about them kids because you put yourself in harm's way every day. And when He said that to me, man, I was like, wow, because it was the truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when you care about your family, man, you can't care about your family till you care about you first. Right. When you change how you think, when you change how you move, when you change how you live, when you change the things that you value, you know what I'm saying? That's when you can start caring about other people, man. You can't do it until you really love God, man. You gotta love God with everything about you, your mind, your soul, your strength, your thoughts, your passion, whatever it is. You give it all to Him first, and then everything starts to make sense, man. So if I'm telling a younger me, love yourself, love God, love yourself. When you love you, you're gonna treat other people how you want to be treated. See, I didn't love me, that's why I could shoot a brother. You know what I'm saying? I didn't love me, that's why I could just go have sex with all kinds of women, because I didn't care about them. You understand? I didn't care about them either. Even when I said it, I didn't, because I didn't care about me. So I would tell the younger me, listen, man, first thing, get to know God. That's the first thing. Not religion God, but God, the creator of the heavens and the earth. The one who sent his son to die for our sins. Get to know that God. And then two,
Now, what
love
happens
yourself.
what happens when you tell them to get to know God and you get some of these young brothers that's, man, I don't want to hear that, man.
Listen, here's the one thing I know about life, man. So I've been doing trauma work since 2013. Right, so I used to respond to shootings and stabbings at Boston Medical. And the one thing that I've seen consistent, whether it's been a gunshot, a stabbing, I've been there when people come through in bad car accidents. I've been there when people come through dying from drug overdose. I've seen all kinds of stuff. But the one thing in common is this, man. Everybody that comes through goes, God help me. God give me another chance. Everybody, because it's in us. But we had this thing where we think we doing what we do. God allows us, man. God gives us the strength to do what we're doing right now. So even if they don't hear it, I still got to tell them. Because if I don't tell you, then it's on me. But when I tell you, it's on you. And you got options. So people gave me wisdom, man. But I had the option to do it or not. And so I still tell people. Because at the end of the day, you're grown. If you're grown, you have options. I can't make you do anything. I can give you the game plan. I can give you the direction. I can say, hey, Pete, man, take this left turn. Pete ain't got to take that left turn. Pete might take that right. Pete might go straight. But I'm telling you, the left is where salvation lives. But you got that option. So that's what I'm going to tell all the young brothers and sisters, because at the end of the day, there's more. There's more after this. You know what I'm saying? There's more. There is a place for your eternal destiny. Where you end up is up to you, where you go. You know what I'm saying? There's either that eternal connection to God or that eternal separation from God, man. But you got to make that decision. Can't nobody make it for you. Not grandma, not nana, not auntie, not mom, not dad, not bro, not sis, not the pastor, not this one, not that. You have to make a decision for yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're here for a reason. And I'm gonna leave this thought, man, because I just was reading this quote, man. You know, around Martin Luther King.
Well, wait, before you
go ahead.
Because we're headed to the end, but I want to know, where are you at today? What are you doing today? I'm sure you work with a lot of people, a lot of young brothers and stuff like that. So what is it you do today?
So today, and this is as of November 2nd, you know, I took this new role in the city, working with the Boston Public Health Commission, where I'm the senior program manager for the neighborhood trauma teams, and I manage all the incidents. So any incident of violence that takes place in the city of Boston, right, I manage that from beginning to the end. So if you experience violence right now, I'm going to make sure that all the entities that work with you, right, are with you until you start your healing process. You know, we think about the 80s and the 90s, you didn't have none of this.
Nah, we didn't.
So
we knew about certain things, but no one followed through anyway.
Nah, nobody followed through, man. I got shot, bro. My hand still don't work.
Like, people don't know, when you get shot
or stabbed,
you know, you get paid for being a victim of a violent crime. They used to have that.
So, yeah. What it is, though, they only make it so that they pay your hospital bills and stuff. So we got major bills, right? And I said they owe me a lot of money if that's the case, right? But I managed to make sure people do what they said they're gonna do. Because I see, when we was young, right? A lot of our friends got killed. A lot of our friends got shot. A lot of our friends got stabbed, right? A lot of our friends went to prison. But there was no healing for our families. Right. And so right now,
there was no healing for most of us.
Right. Yeah. 2021, from since I've been doing this work from 2013 to right now, that's 8 years, right? We stopped burying those young people who was kids or still in their mother's womb in the 80s and the 90s because there was no healing. So my role today is to make sure that that doesn't happen in the next 20 years, that these young brothers and sisters start getting that healing that they should have been getting, and their mothers get that healing that they should have been getting, so that they can raise their kids right, you know what I'm saying? And then their kids know that there is a hope. So that's what I do for work. You know, I'm an ordained pastor. I don't have a building or none of that, man. Like, I look at it, I'm pastoring the whole city, even through my job. You know, so that's what I'm doing now, man.
But you are ordained pastor.
Yeah, ordained pastor.
Dope. So basically, man, you went from the streets, from a thug to a pastor, bottom line.
Yeah,
From
right.
Gangster to a pastor. Huh?
Dig that. Dig that, man. Ain't that funny?
Nah, I like it, man. I respect it. You know, man, I think you pretty much covered everything that I had. Is there anything you want to say in closing?
Yeah, in close, man, you know, like I said, I read a lot of Martin Luther King Jr. quotes whenever, you know, his birthday comes around. And there's one quote that I read that was deep. It's actually the first time I've seen it in all my years, right? But he says, you never know why you're here or what your purpose is here until you know what you died for.
Like that.
You know what I'm
Until
saying?
you know what you died for.
Until you know what you died for, man.
Say that one more time so they make sure they get that.
You'll never know why you're on this planet, what your purpose is, until you know what you'll die for. See, if you're, for me right now, man, if I lose my life so that everybody else's lives could be better, that's cool with me. You know what I'm saying? Because before, man, I was willing to die for nothing. Now, if I gotta die, you know, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, you know what I'm saying? They lost their lives trying to make it better for other people, man. And that's really what this is all about. So, you know, love yourself, find God, the real God, not religion, God. Love yourself, find God, love yourself, and take care of others. And for my dads out there, man, listen, if you haven't had a good relationship with your child, fix that. Fix that. I'm talking to the brothers who are in me and Paris's age bracket, right? Them 40, 45 and up. Because that would make your kids in that 20, 29, 30 down, right? Especially the ones that's out here acting a fool. Go save your kids' lives. Because you can do it. Straight like that. That's what I got. Gangsta Gone Legit. Support. Because this brother's doing some big things. And definitely, he's on a legit path. You know what I'm saying? God bless you. Peace and blessings.
Peace.